Hello, welcome back to the OTMT Malaysian tournament. In our last match of the round of 16, PollyDoggo versus vernonlim. They're playing through the warm-ups right now. Looking to be a very close match, considering how these two players are very, very consistent. On the side of Polly, we know that they're a very, very solid hidden player, especially when it comes to streams. Let's see, they're still holding on to their combo here on this map. Vernon, on the other hand, is a very, very well-rounded player, good in pretty much everything, as we've seen in their qualifier performance, finishing top 5. But besides that, the only difference I see between these two would be probably their hard rock capabilities. I might be wrong on that, but I feel like Vernon has a slight edge in terms of hard rock against Polly here. But who knows, the map pool has yet to reach a very, very difficult level, so I think Polly should be able to handle most of the hard rock picks here. The question is, can they match Vernon's consistency here? Finishing 99.56% at the moment, although they do find a miss. Both players sitting at around 99%, Polly just entering the 99% range. Vernon at a very comfortable 99 point, nearly 99.5. But yeah, Polly showing their stream consistency here. Still holding out to that full combo. Also, speaking of streams, like for the next map pool in the quarterfinals, we will be introducing one extra bracket, one extra mod slot, which is free mod 3, and that will be testing your stream capabilities. So if there are any map pool, any players remaining in the tournament who feel like there's not enough stream maps, that should be some good news for you, I guess. And yeah, Vernon finding some misses there, and Polly still holding on to that full combo. Is looking to be a very, very interesting matchup. I think if I were in Vernon's shoes, I'd probably try and target a little bit more on the hard rock. Maybe I might want to suss out the hidden picks, considering how Polly is a very solid hidden player. If I were on Polly's side, I would focus a lot on consistency. Challenging Vernon in one of their strengths there. It's a sort of high risk, high reward thing, but I feel like you can do a lot to the other players' morale if you fight them head on in what they're good at and beat them. Although if you lose the point on your side, it doesn't really matter. Wait, I just realized Vernon is using hard rock on this. Bro. Okay. Okay, that changes things. I didn't notice that hard rock, he was using hard rock there. That's crazy. Yeah, even with that few misses that they will be winning in terms of mod advantage, taking that warm-up with a 21-100 score. But yeah, that is the warm-up. They will be sharing a warm-up, so because their map is 5 minutes long, so they will only be having one warm-up. But yeah, like we mentioned before, Polly is a very, very consistent stream player, but we'll have to see if they can beat Vernon's very flexible mod capabilities there. And Polly does lose the roll by about 37 points with a 2-point roll against Vernon's 39. A very unfortunate roll there. But yeah, this means Polly will be banning Fizz. It gets a little bit tricky when you're facing Vernon here, but Polly is going with the most sensible band here, Hard Rock 1. Seen this map banned many times already. Definitely the least popular pick of this round, next to No Mod 4, unsurprisingly. Question is, how will Vernon respond? Wait, no, that's already banned. Okay, Vernon will be banning Free Mod 1. The finisher heavy Free Mod pick. Probably a good choice there, considering Free Mod is the very comfy map to mod on. So that kind of eliminates the possibility of Polly going hidden. Kiro, no, you're not allowed to skip the ban, but you are allowed to give your ban to your opponent and let them decide for you. And Vernon will be picking No Mod 4 as the first pick, the gimmick map. Very much a high-risk, high-reward thing going on here. Seeing how No Mod 4 is a very risky pick. If you get it, you get it. And even if you do get it, there's still a chance you'll shit miss during the match itself. So, and seeing how it is the first pick by Vernon here, it means that they should be well prepared on their side, I hope. And yeah, we're going in to the first map of this match.
電子の海を漂うオタクに笑顔を未来の平和をお約束そう打つだけど任せとけインターネットエンジェルただいま降臨社会をやめろ家族をやめろ人間関係をやめろ今すぐ薄暗い部屋で青白いライトを浴びろ大丈夫怖かったこと全部はがきするからね現実よりも
But yeah, both players finding very, very consistent scores in this beginning part of the map. Vernon having a slight edge in terms of accuracy. Polly falling down below 99 there. Both players holding on quite strong here in the rather confusing mix gimmick section before we get into the semi-memory section here. Very easy to trip up here if you forget which bar lines represent what notes. Well, Polly does find the first trip up there. We enter the second memory section. Yeah, Polly finding that section a little bit hard to grasp. While Vernon still holding on to that 99.7%. Getting into arguably the hardest section of the map. The confusing barline gimmick. Polly does find a misstep, but Vernon's still holding strong with 99.66%. Yo. The lead is just so far ahead for Vernon right now, but it will still come down to that final stream at the end. If they choke and crash completely there and Polly manages to FC it, the score might flip.
SNS という瓶詰め地獄に救済も過去の歴史は未来フリーあなたのためならすぐそばにインターネットエンジェル可愛く誕生まるで天使のように抱きつく強めの計画インターネットそして悪魔みたいにキスするあなただけのミリが
Well, Vernon missed earlier, but they are gonna get through this stream section along with Polly as well, both FCing the hardest part of the map. But the lead in the beginning of the map was just too big in Vernon's favor, and they will be taking that first point. That accuracy is not normal, by the way, on Vernon's side. 10 100s on the gimmick pick. Despite the 5 misses, it's really not something you see every day. It rivals that of Vanilla even. Vanilla got like 980k on this. Bro. And Polly's not too far behind, 10 misses. The question now is, what will Polly respond with? And they will be going with No Mod 2. The banger slow jazz. Is this jazz? It's not jazz, right? Hip hop. The slow No Mod 2. Not too sure about the genre of the music. Could be hip hop. winner here playing against Vanilla. No, the winner of Vanilla will be facing Jake. That's confirmed for quarterfinals. The winner of this match will be facing. I need to pull up the challenge. The winner of this match will be facing Court next week, and the loser of this match will be facing Megumi. I honestly did not expect Vanilla versus Jake this early on into the tournament. It's kind of nuts. Oh, I forgot about the predictions. Okay, you guys have 2 minutes to submit your predictions for this match. Who do you think will win? Let's go. 2 minutes as we get started on No Mod 2 here. Very much a consistency battle, mixed with a little bit of finger control, though that doesn't really matter if you're single tapping. But these two players don't seem to be single tapping, they are alting all of these patterns. Vernon has a slight, not slight actually, it's a whole 1% accuracy advantage though, giving them about 10,000 points lead. Though Polly is slowly creeping up on them, if they don't hold on to their accuracies, Polly will just snatch it away. Still anyone's game here, seeing how the combos are still intact, but we are getting into the final quarter of the map. If Polly wants to take this, they're gonna wish for a miss from Vernon right about now, or else the map will be ending soon. And Vernon will be taking it as 100 note on the last finisher there, but that's not gonna make much of a difference. Oh, look at those scores. Polly with an 8-100 score and Vernon with 2 100s. Very close, but Vernon will be taking that first breakpoint away from Polly. Putting Vernon in a very comfortable position here. 2 points in the lead. They can afford to lose 1 point, considering how it's Polly's pick. Wait, no, it is their pick next. And they can afford to lose 1 or 2 points. It doesn't really matter, considering how they're in a very comfortable lead now. But considering how this is Vernon, they might want to close off the match as soon as possible in the most efficient way. As we've seen in the group stage, they've finished their matches very efficiently. Very clean as well. But yeah, Vernon going with the DT2 as their next pick here. I'm not too sure how this will go, because I know Polly can handle their speed. And Vernon has... I remember Vernon posted a 300 BPM score once. So these two players can handle speed at a very high level. And this is only like 230 BPM. So it really shouldn't be a problem here. It might come down to their accuracies, I feel. It's either the accuracy difference or the finisher difference, because this map has a bunch of finishers. So you gotta make sure you hit every single one of them if you want those extra points. I accuracies are almost stabilizing at this point for Vernon, but Polly is just the whole 4% behind. Although they do still have their combo and the map is still pretty long. So if Vernon misses anywhere here, they could snatch it back. But no sign of that so far, but 99.37% in Vernon's favor. Getting into the halfway point, that lead has not changed. It's scaling very consistently across the map. And that miss from Polly is not gonna help, the lead is just gonna get bigger and bigger. With their accuracies well below 95%, it's gonna be hard to come back from that against Vernon's 98 approaching 99, but they do find a miss there. I'm not sure if it's enough or not though. That accumulated points there is going to be hard to beat, and that miss from Polly might just seal it. Yeah, Vernon going past the 1 million mark. Very, very amazing performance there. That's not an easy accuracy point to get, by the way, on DT2. 25 100s, even with the 2 misses there. Polly with a very respectable 9 miss, although their accuracy is quite behind there. 113 100s. Giving away the 3rd point to Vernon, however, it is their pick now. Potentially their final pick, if they don't pick carefully here. They need to really consider their options. I'd say, in my opinion, the hidden picks should be a very, very good choice here. Because anything else is gonna be a gamble. No Mod 1 is a coin flip. No Mod 3 is also a coin flip. FM2, Vernon might go HDHR. That's the scary thing there. We know Hard Rock 2 is gonna be hard as well, so the remaining options of Hidden 1 and Hidden 2 should be good for them. But Polly does go with Fremont too. Probably they have their own plans going on there. I feel like Vernon might go with Hidden Hard Rock on this, based on what we've seen in the group stage. But Polly is also very capable of Hidden Hard Rock, I believe. So potentially, despite it being an anti-mod, it is still quite a elementary level anti-mod here. We might see a Hidden Hard Rock battle, maybe? I kinda wanna see that. It's a bit risky, but... Has anyone HDHR FM2 yet? I'm not too sure. I don't think so. We haven't seen it yet. But I believe we have seen it for Fremont 1. Though I will have to go back on the match history there. But yeah, this map it's quite hard. If you decide to go with Hidden Hard Rock, it's quite hard to read. See how there's a lot of... Like if you play with Hidden, you realize there's a lot of overlaps going on. Because of the base SV, the base approach rate of the nodes are really slow. it's tethering on the border of, you know, being uncomfortable to read. Same with hard rock, so it's quite balanced in that sense. But if you go with hidden hard rock, it becomes a big blur. And we do see that hidden hard rock from Vernon there. Going with the high risk, high reward option. Polly going with the rather safe option of hidden only. But that doesn't make it any easier. And despite that double mod from Vernon, they are holding a very high accuracy in this early part of the map. Polly falling a bit behind with a 95. But the map is quite long, anything can still happen here. And all eyes should be on Vernon here, with their double mod score. As every note hit does give them a almost double score against Polly, but every miss also gives them a double reduction. Polly will have to get a little bit more stable there in their accuracy if they want to catch up with Vernon's double mod score. They are struggling quite a bit, almost reaching 98%. Though this section is a bit rough, they do find a miss there. You have a few 1-8 burst here that's a bit hard to read on hidden. Vernon does trip up on one of those 1-8 bursts. But they have built up quite a lead. And with that double mod especially, they can afford a few misses. Almost a 70,000 point difference here. Vernon does find another miss and that might help a little bit. But Polly cannot find any more misses, they have to keep going. They want to close the gap. The lead is shrinking ever so slightly. I'm not too sure if it's enough or not though. It might not be enough unless we see a complete crash on Vernon's side on these ninja finishes. Though that might not be happening as we get into the final outro of the map. Nothing much left. And yeah, Vernon will be taking that point. The second breakpoint away from Polly with a ridiculous score. What is that? 19 100s with 3 misses with double mod on the anti-mod. Bro, what are you doing? And Polly's score is really good as well for hidden on an anti-mod to get 1 miss. But what can you do against a double mod, honestly? And yeah, that does put Vernon in the match point for this match, 4-0. And it's also their pick. So not looking good for Polly here. Yeah, looking at the remaining picks, I feel like I was gonna say DT1, but Vernon goes with the consistency pick, fighting Polly in arguably their strongest skill set, I would say. Yeah, potentially the final map of this match, although this is also Polly's strong point in terms of consistency. But on the other side, Vernon is also a monster when it comes to consistency, so this should be quite interesting. If both players can stand their ground on this map. You might even see a potential nullified map. Who knows? So if there are any Polly believers in chat, this is a very good time to give them your energy. Start spamming your support in chat here. So a little fun fact about this map. This was supposed to be in qualifiers, but we thought it's too hard, so it's in the quarterfinals instead. I mean, no, round of 16, what am I saying? But yeah, getting into the first quarter of the map, Polly's not too far behind at 99.17%. Vernon does find a few drops there, pushing it down to 99.7. Really close score so far. But we have yet to get into the main meat of the map, which are the 1-4 sections. I mean the 1-6 sections. I am mispronouncing things a lot today. Yeah, almost a 0.3% difference in accuracy. There's still anyone's game here. Especially when it comes to consistency picks like this, your biggest enemy are your nerves. So a good strategy will be to not look at the scores, press tab, hide it. But then on the other hand, when you hide it, the tension is still there as well because you don't know, right? And the nerves are kind of catching up to Polly here, finding 2 extra 100s there, pushing them down to 99.06 now. Still not too far behind, but they need to hold on there and hope for some drops from Vernon here. Vernon's holding on really, really strong here, 99.82%. After that initial drop, they don't seem to be finding any more 100s. Polly falling down to below 99, crawling back ever so slightly. Heading into the final quarter of the map. If Vernon's gonna miss anywhere, it's gonna be here. Else there won't be any more chances for Polly to come back from this. There is one final section of the map. It's a very, very slight increase in density. Both players still holding on to their full combos here. No changes in that. But the accuracy difference is just too great. Almost 1% difference there. If nothing happens now on Vernon's side, they might just take this match in 5-0. And that is what we will be seeing. 2 full combos, but Vernon's accuracy is just too good, yeah. 3 100s against Polly's very respectable full combo with a 28 100 score there. Vernon, what the hell, man? Vernon will be taking that match 5-0, going up against Cord next week in the quarterfinals of the winner's bracket. But Polly is not out of the tournament yet. They will be falling down to the loser's bracket, going up against Megumin next week. So that's the match. GG, well played to both players. Congratulations to Vernon. Very, very insane performance there. But yeah, that will be it for our round of 16 matches. That's all we have for this week. All that's left is the Mapple Showcase at 8 p.m. in about 1.5 hours. So we'll see you there. Make sure to go have your dinner and have a little bit of rest before coming for the Mapple Showcase later. 8 o'clock. That's 12 p.m. UTC. But 8 p.m. Malaysian time. Yeah. We'll see you there. Bye-bye.